Hello everyone and welcome back to this course on Windows 10. In this module we're going to talk about connecting to the internet. Now most things that you're going to be doing will involve accessing the internet at some point or another, and it's something that we've barely mentioned so far in this course, even though it's probably the thing that we all do the most often. So in this module we're going to focus on internet access. I'm going to start out by talking to you a little bit about internet connections. I'm going to explain the difference between public and private networks. And then we're going to jump into our network and sharing center. So let's start out by talking about internet connections. And really what we're going to concentrate on is a standard internet connection. So for someone who's using a PC or a laptop at home. Now, these days, the most common arrangement is that you will have some kind of router that is connected to an internet service provider, or ISP as you might know it, using a cable. So in my case, my local telephone company has provided the box and the signals use the phone lines. Now, some people do have other setups. Some people have things like satellite connections. But in the majority of cases, people will have some kind of wired connection. Now, how you actually connect to that box from your PC is a different matter. So traditionally or historically, people have connected their laptop or their PC to their router using an Ethernet cable. I'm old enough to remember those days of having to plug my laptop into my router to try and access the internet. But these days, most commonly, people will connect wirelessly over Wi-Fi. And in order to do that, you need to have a wireless device within your tablet, your laptop, or your PC. And I will say that most devices that you'll buy these days already have that built into them. Now, in some rare cases, if your PC doesn't have a wireless device, maybe you have a really old laptop, you can buy something that you can plug in. Or you could go back to that old traditional method of using an Ethernet cable to plug directly into the router. Now in this module, I'm going to make the assumption that you can connect wirelessly, as that is the most common. So our basic starting point for connecting to the internet is that we need to have some kind of router, and we also need to have a wireless device built into whichever device we're using, our PC or our laptop. Now, if you're using a device which is set up for Wi-Fi, which I am, if you look down in the notifications area, you'll be able to see this little Wi-Fi icon. And it's this one just here that kind of looks like these rays emanating from the corner. And as I hover over it, you can see it's telling me in a little pop-up message the name of the router that I'm currently connected to. And it's telling me that I currently have internet access, and I can see by the fact that all of these bars are white that I have a really strong signal. Now when I click on this, you'll see that I now get a list of router IDs. So essentially my device can connect to lots of different routers. Now the one that I'm currently connected to is at the top of the list. It's telling me that I'm connected and secured. And if I wanted to, I could choose to disconnect from my internet just by clicking that disconnect button. Now these other ones that you can see listed are not actually located in my house. So essentially I'm picking up the routers of my neighbors. Now you might think to yourself, well, can't I just select one of my neighbors and utilize their Wi-Fi? Firstly, I wouldn't advise that. You'll have some very angry neighbors. But secondly, if you do try and do that, you're going to be asked for a password. So for example, I can't just click on this second one in the list, BT Hub 6, and say connect, because it's going to ask me to enter the network security key. Now, normally when you receive your router, your network security key is printed either on the bottom or on the side, and you'll normally be given a little card by the engineer as well with those details on it. So the first time you connect your device wirelessly to your router, you have your security key. Now you'll see underneath where it's got the name of my router and it says connected secured, I have a little link to properties. So if I click on that, it's going to jump me across into settings. And you can see the name of my router listed at the top there. And you can see that I have this little toggle turned on so that it will connect automatically when in range. Now I like to have this toggled on so that as soon as I boot up my PC, I don't have to do anything. It automatically connects to my Wi-Fi. Now the next options that I have are related to my network profile. And you see that I have options for public and private. And I currently have public selected. So it says your PC is hidden from other devices on the network and can't be used for printer and file sharing. And the second option, private, for a network you trust, such as home or at work, your PC is discoverable and can be used for printer and file sharing if you set it up. So I might decide to choose this second option if I kind of wanted to create like a mini private network amongst my family. So within my household, we might have 3 or 4 different laptops for different family members. We're all attached to the same Wi-Fi. So essentially we can create our own little private network, which will enable us to do things really easily, like share files and also do things like connect to a shared printer. Now, I actually don't share any files or a printer with anyone in my household, so I'm happy to leave mine on public. Another little option we have in here is random hardware addresses. So you can essentially use random hardware addresses to make it harder for people to track your location when you connect to this Wi-Fi network. So for example, if you have lots of apps which do things like use your location, such as the Maps app that we looked at earlier, if you would prefer that your location wasn't disclosed, you could choose to use a random address for this network. We then have some options in here for a metered connection. Now, I don't have a metered connection, but a lot of people do. Now, a metered connection is more like a controlled connection. So it means that you essentially pay only for the time that you're connected or for a specific amount of data. So there might be some instances where you want to turn off your metered connection. For example, if you're downloading an application that's very large, you don't want that download to fail because you've gone over your data limit for the day. So this really applies to people who fall into that kind of scenario. And as we move down towards the bottom, we just have some information about our IP settings and also some properties related to my router. So really, it is important to come in here and check these settings to make sure that you can make a wireless connection to your router. And if you can't, you should be able to make a wired connection using something like an Ethernet cable. Now, if you're not sure what I mean by that, you can get hold of Ethernet cables very easily. And most devices have some kind of Ethernet port on them. So it's really simply a case of connecting up your device from the Ethernet port to the Ethernet port on the router. Now, I will say that using this method is sometimes not the most convenient. If you're anything like me, my router is situated quite a long way from where I like to use my laptop, and sometimes it's quite hard to find a cable that is long enough to stretch to the router. But it is an option if you don't have wireless. So pretty easy to set up your Wi-Fi. I will also say that if you purchase a brand new laptop or maybe a PC that has Windows 10 on it, as soon as you start up that laptop, Windows actually walks you through the process of setting up your Wi-Fi connection. So it really makes it a really efficient, simple process. Now, having established a working connection, I really want to focus the next few modules on browsing the internet using Edge and Internet Explorer. But before we leave this module, I just want to cover one of the things I mentioned before, network discovery. So again, I'm going to jump back into Settings. I'm going to go to Network and Internet. I'm going to click on the Status page and look at Sharing Options. Now, if you remember before, we were talking about private and public networks. And you can see here, I have the guest or public option expanded. And underneath it says network discovery and file and printer sharing. So as I mentioned, in general, I'm not sharing any files or a printer with anybody else in my family, so I have network discovery turned off. However, if I turned this option on, I can then specify underneath what I want to actually share with other members on my network. So you can see here when file and printing sharing is on, files and printers that you have shared from this computer can be accessed by people on this network. So this option basically allows my PC to be discoverable on the private network, which means that I can share files and printers with other members of my family, but it doesn't let them access my PC. They can't just jump onto my PC and see my files. So if I was to turn on file and printer sharing, it's going to make it a lot more efficient for me to share maybe photo albums, documents, things with other people in my family. And also if we have one printer in our household, it means that we can all use that printer. Now I'm going to turn both of those options off. We also have the same options for a private network as well. Now the final option I want to talk to you about is the Network and Sharing Center. So I'm going to jump back into Settings. We're going to go to Network and Internet. And right at the bottom, we have a link to Network and Sharing Center. So this dialog box gives me access to lots of options related to networking. And at the top here, I have an indication of my current active network. And if I want to change any of those settings, I can click on this little link just here, which will take me in and I can see all of my settings, and I can also change some of these settings if I need to. Now, we're not going to get too much into the technicalities of this. Just be aware that if you have to do something like that, this is where you're going to find those settings. Now, for most of this module, I've been describing how you connect to a router wirelessly, but there might be some occasions where you need to set up some kind of network connection manually. And again, this is where you come to do this. You can see here you have an option, set up a new connection or network. And it gives you 4 options. So it's going to allow you to connect to the internet. You can set up a new network. You can manually connect to a wireless network, or you can connect to a workplace. So this last option here, connect to a workplace, this would cover situations such as one where you might have a company laptop and you work from home, but you need to connect to the work network using a VPN or a virtual private network. If that is a case that applies to you, then this is the option that you're going to need. And the final option that we have here is troubleshoot problems. So again, if you're having any issues with your connection or having any problems setting it up, or maybe it's just not connecting, you can run through this troubleshooter to try and diagnose your problem. So again, that's really just a pointer for you, so you know where to go if you do run into any issues. So that's it on this module for connecting to the internet. We're now going to move into using web browsers. And the first one we're going to take a look at is Microsoft's newest browser, Microsoft Edge. So please join me in the next module for that.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. Now, to see the full 7.5-hour Windows 10 course, click over there. And click over there to watch all the videos in this Windows 10 playlist.